Hello and welcome. I'm Wolfgang Riebe. These are my weekly quick tips. Today I want to speak to you about patience. What do you mean patience? Ever happened to you that you just lose your temper? That you get impatient, irritated, frustrated, even restless? Have you ever gone for a drive with a family on Sunday and you're having this great discussion and suddenly you go, "You schmuck!" and you shout out and give everybody a fright? No one knows who you're shouting at. Does this sound familiar in any way? Do you find it difficult to stay calm under certain circumstances? What about if you encounter people with, how do you put this, abilities not quite the same as yours? Do they frustrate and annoy you? Does this in general end up discouraging you about life and about humanity as such? Think about it. Or do you know someone that this happens to? How does one cope with being impatient? It's actually very difficult because in today's world, there are a lot of people out there that are greedy, that are selfish, that are not considerate to others, but that still doesn't give us a reason to carry on the way we do. And to be very honest, I describe myself. I have often just driven calmly down the road and suddenly I just fly off at somebody that's selfish in front of me, give my family in the car a heck of a fright, and meanwhile I'm just letting go of my frustration and suddenly the whole mood's dampened. We're all human. It can happen to any one of us. I mean, a few years ago, road rage was the norm. You just want to go out there, and I've seen people scream at other people because they claim they stole their parking, but just 3 parking places ahead, they could have just parked there. The world is becoming really messed up, seriously so. But that doesn't mean you need to be as messed up with it. It doesn't mean you need to be negative. It doesn't mean you need to be impatient and come on. The only person who's going to suffer is you, no one else. So what are some coping mechanisms that we can calm down? The first question I'm going to ask you is, why are you in a hurry? Do you really need to rush around? And it's really bad if you go back and say, you know, in the 70s and 80s, we were not as stressed as we are today. But we do have information overload. Is it necessary to half kill yourself when the cell phone rings to try and answer it? Surely that person can phone back if they really want to get in touch with you. We tend to overreact to things nowadays and we have to calm down. And also, what are the triggers that actually set you off? What is that one thing that takes you from here to over there? And then, are there any patterns in your life and repeated behavior that actually leads to you losing your cool? Once you can identify these things, that's already a huge step ahead, because then you know what they are and you can do something about them. Now, I always say the first thing that you need to do before you react is breathe. Have you ever been in a situation where you're like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? You see, I changed that curse into counting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, you may laugh, and in previous quick tips, I've actually said counting to 10 is important. It really is. But there are many times when I really just want to let loose this barrage of wording and tell people to go forth and multiply fruitfully, and not in such a polite way, but I found that it only irritates and frustrates me. And I found that I actually laugh at myself when I go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It actually does calm me down. It takes me back to the counting to 10, and I find that the more I do that, the easier it is to do. They say it takes 3 weeks for a habit to get into your subconscious or out of your subconscious. And just for the next 3 weeks, instead of cursing, just using that, it actually does work. And you'll find that when other people hear you or see you doing that as well, they actually laugh and they go, that person's got a point, and that does calm you down. Never, ever, and this is so difficult, respond immediately. Hence, I started with the 5, 6, 7, 8, counting to 10. Stop before you react. Think before you react. Get all the facts and all the data. And if you're honest with yourself, some of the times you have reacted suddenly. And annoyingly and impatiently. Have you looked back and gone, heck, I didn't know all the facts, I didn't know the root cause, otherwise I wouldn't have reacted like that? Becomes embarrassing, doesn't it? So rather just step back, get all the facts first. You also need to stop taking life too seriously. Stop fretting the small stuff. Chill a little bit more. That's said very lightheartedly, but that's very deep. You need to relax a lot more and chill and not worry about all the things you can't change anyway. Although I'm trying to give you positive answers, I don't mean this to be negative when I say expect the unexpected. I just spent the day at the Home Office in a line applying for, with my daughter, identity documents, passports, and that's actually why I'm shooting this, because I'm like, what is it with them? But you know, if I count to 10 and I get all my facts and figures, who am I really to judge them? Who am I to think I'm in any way better or have the right to judge them? They're merely doing a job under very difficult circumstances. Yeah, maybe it's the leadership that we should talk to, but I can't judge those people. And what I did today to not get that frustrated, because it was already a thing I had to build my way up over a few days to know I'm going to go do it, I expected the worst. And guess what? Because I expected the worst didn't come. I was actually pleasantly surprised, and I got things done much quicker. Okay, they were still slow, but they were much quicker than what I expected. And you know what? That's actually very positive. So I mean this in a positive way. Sometimes you just need to expect the worst, and then suddenly it doesn't happen. And I think just because you're in that frame of mind, you're already set up not to get irritated. So then you take things more in your stride. Remember, we're all normal human beings. I'm a normal person. It's only normal for me to get annoyed. But if I just try one or two little things to counteract that sudden aggression, believe me, my life becomes a lot more calmer. I don't get a heart attack, I don't get high blood pressure, and guess what? I'll start living as long as those people that don't even realize what's going on. You see, there are three kinds of people in the world. It's those that make things happen, those that watch those that make things happen, and then the third group that have no idea that anything happened at all. You see, and sometimes I think the people that really get impatient are those that make things happen, the rainmakers the whole time. But we've all got to just learn to calm down and just go with the flow at times. And at the end of the day, you've got to look at the bigger picture. You've got to take others into consideration and go, is this really going to matter tomorrow? Is it going to matter 2 days from today or a week from today? Odds are it ain't going to matter. So why the heck get annoyed about it? Therefore, if you are someone that is impatient, just follow these steps and just try and chill a bit more. And guess what? Life does become more relaxing and you do have a lot more fun. So that's it from me, Wolfgang Riebe. I trust you've enjoyed these tips. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next quick tip. From me, cheers.